Okay, so I decided to make this video because of what I was holding space for. I was kind of reflecting on things, and part of this is about depression, and I'd like to get that part out of the way straight away. I isolated myself completely for 3 years. I found it too painful to be around anyone. I'd see my mum every 2 or 3 weeks. That's it. I'd be completely alone. Like I say, I'd go to a group. It would be too painful for me. I mean, yes. After I went to the group, I felt so much better. But going to the group on Wednesday, it was coffee club. It was too hard, and I couldn't do it. Even though it lifted my mood and it made me feel better, I couldn't do it. I mean, this sounds like a very negative video, but I am going somewhere with this. Somewhere very positive. So I think I'll just tell it from my history of. So it's been 3 years, okay. I believe it was a dark night of the soul. And I was reflecting on the people who I used to be fucking with. You know, I used to see them. I'm feeling a bit self-conscious right now, but I used to see them like once a week, for about half an hour, maybe 2 hours. And I've grown so much. I see people differently now. I see that there are people, I would never use the word bad people, okay, but there are people who, the reason I believe in the awakening is because of, like I say, how much I've grown. I've gone from resonating with people to finding that we're no longer a match in our vibration. They're revving much lower than me. And it is, I've just got to get rid of this reminder. Remind me in an hour. And I've got to get rid of this reminder. Okay, so I'll go back to the depression story a bit. I know I'm jumping around here. I'm just telling it from my story, and I'm hoping that people can get something out of me telling my story. I'm not gonna try and tell people how their lives are gonna go. I'm just hoping they get something out of my story. Okay, so it took about 3 years before I started to do voluntary work. I was strong enough. I was ready. And I started on Friday afternoons. I started on Friday afternoons, and I would do that once a week. And I could do it. I could do it every week. And then it moved to, after a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, because I've been doing it about 6 months now, it moved to 2 afternoons a week. And how do I explain this in the right way? I really, really enjoy being around the people at Shop Mobility. We talk. It's 1 o'clock till 4:30, but I might show up at 12, and we talk for the whole time. I enjoy myself. I enjoy my time there, and it's never too hard for me to be there. It's never too hard. It's never too stressful for me to be there. So, I'm just telling my story that I've moved from a place where I can't even say it because it's so emotional, that I've been there, that I've suffered the way that I've suffered. But what I want to concentrate on is how I feel now, how much better I feel now. How and this might be a bit triggering to some people, but how socializing helps depression. I was told this once by a lady on 111. It's a number we call in the UK. It's an NHS number. We spoke for about an hour and she told me that. And yeah, I kind of feel like I'm choking. I just want to say that in my story has a happy ending. My story is still a struggle, but I don't really want to go there, I think that's a bit sort of, that's not the vibration that I want to be giving out. So I feel like I've been through an awakening. I believe in the awakening. I was revving so freaking low. I really was. And now I'm revving with people who are easygoing. People who are more of the way of staying present. Which is quietening the mind a bit, because the mind can do all sorts of destructive things, if left unchecked. And these people, they to some in some way, they quieten their minds, and it shows in the conversations that we have. So I'm really, really struggling here. I'm really struggling to say this, and this is I feel this is a really important message that in my story I've got stronger. And I can handle being around people now. my goal is to get more voluntary work, be around people even more. I feel ready for that. And I'm just trying to inspire people who are struggling at the vibration I was at 3 years ago, or people who have been through what I've been through and can relate in that way. And that's my story. So, I feel so self-conscious. So self-conscious. I really, really, really feel very self-conscious. I guess I'm scared to film. I guess this is hard for me, you know. Anyway, that's my story. I'm gonna leave it there. And like I say, I'm really, really rooting for people who I'm rooting for people. I'm rooting for people, you know. So I'll leave it there. Goodbye.